Hi, this is Jack Kelly with WeCruitr. Today I'm so excited to talk to you about the new book. You will get that great new job that just hit Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Walmart. Well, I don't know any other bookstores, but they're going there. Whatever the other bookstores are, they'll be there. So the book is going to help people who are looking for a job find that great new job. And the idea is this, that from the beginning stages, thinking of, should I leave? Should I get a new job? Am I happy where I am? Am I not happy? Why should I leave? All the way through the whole process, through interviewing, dealing with HR people, dealing with recruiters, negotiating a salary, having to figure out what do I do about a counter offer, and then also how do I leave on good terms. So it's really soup to nuts. It's going to go across the whole spectrum so you can be confident in going on that search. Now, what I would like to do, we started to do a number of podcasts, which got great feedback, but put it on the back burner because I just wanted to finish this book. You know, it's one of these ideas that I really wanted to accomplish. It was one of my goals, and we hit it in 2020, which I would love to do. We had great help from Nicole, who's filming this right here, and Christine, the editor, and so I think you're going to really enjoy it. Today, each installment of this podcast is going to kind of mirror the book. Not exactly, but give a little taste of it so you can kind of know what it's all about. And then I'll sprinkle in other things too in between, because there could be different developments in the economy, in the business world, geopolitical stuff that may impact your job. But the first thing I figured, one of the reasons why I started writing this book is that I noticed for people who tend to write about careers, interview advice, for the most part, and this is not a knock or a slight or anything like that, they just don't really know that space. You know, they may be great writers, probably much better writers than I am because I never even taken a writing class at all. So they might be way better, but they don't know it from the inside perspective. They just, they may be tasked by their paper they work for a blog they're on, or what have you, to say, hey, you should probably write about it. It's the new year, people are starting to look for a job, so hey, write about it. And it really frustrates me because, my background is I've been an executive recruiter for 20 plus years, placed literally thousands of mid to senior level executives with some of the most top tier, high end Wall Street investment banks, brokerage firms, hedge funds, private equity firms, and so on. And so, you really have a handle on what it takes to get a job, what it takes to navigate this whole process. And I don't see it elsewhere. I mean, I'm sure there's some really good people who do it. So please, I don't want to disrespect anyone or come across, arrogant. But, I think you'd agree, if you're in a space for a long time, day in, day out, in the trenches, you really get the insights. The first thing that for today I want to talk to you about in this podcast is really from the beginning stages. And this is going to sound a little weird coming from a guy who is a recruiter, who places people, who just started, founded WeCruitr, which is a startup company to help people get jobs and interact with recruiters. So you might think this is kind of weird, but looking for a job is brutal. It's tough. It's not like, people talk about it. It's dehumanizing. You'll be treated shabbily. There's rudeness. People are inappropriate. You'll get ghosted. So I know I'm probably not doing a good job of selling my book and selling this podcast, but my whole thing is I really want to, pull away all the nonsense and all the other stuff and just be really transparent and really honest. So if you're looking, you know what to expect. Warts and all. Because I don't think I'm doing any favor if I say, oh yeah, just do X, Y, and Z and you got that job easy. Because it doesn't work that way. It'd be great if it did, but it doesn't. So it's really even though it's supposedly a hot job market and one of the hottest job markets in half a century, it's not easy. You have to fill out, it even starts at the beginning. You look at a job description, and the job description is just kind of this laundry list that's been Frankenstein together by HR, hiring managers, legal looks at it, senior ups look at it, and the time you get it, it's this crazy bullet points that nobody seems to have. You fill out an application, it's glitchy, it's long, they crash as you do it, then you submit it, you don't hear back. You go in an interview, you don't hear anything. In fact, now interviews, they're not even in person at first. It used to be you go there and you go and sit down with somebody and you have that, one-on-one interview. Now it's, let's have a phone call. Sometimes they don't even take the call. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed the call. So given that backdrop, just giving you a little taste of it, these are some of the little annoyances that you have to deal with. And when I start out the book, really, I look at it from a perspective of you have to be mentally and emotionally tough. In fact, the way I put it, and I didn't make up this term, I kind of just used it for these purposes, you really have a zero fucks given attitude. And what I mean by that is you can't let all these things bother you. Because if you do, if you let it get to you and you let it bother you, you're never going to get anywhere. If you get easily insulted because you don't hear back from an HR person, if a recruiter doesn't take your call, if you're waiting in the lobby for 20 minutes to meet somebody and you seethe and you just are unhappy and miserable and like this sucks, you're never going to make it. So what I suggest, and this sounds a little crazy, but what I suggest, you have to kind of rewire yourself. You have to go into this knowing this is not going to be easy. This is going to be hard. I'm going to have to go through a lot of steps. It may take a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. In between, maybe you won't hear back from people. Maybe you'll get rejected time and time again. So what is essential is to build up that internal fortitude where you could go out there and you could get rejected again and again and again, but not let that get to you. It won't bother you. You keep moving forward. And that's what it takes. And that's what I mean by that ZFG attitude. It's not just saying it for the shock value, but it's like you have to adopt the ability to get kicked around, beaten up, nothing happens, nothing goes your way, everything is against you, but still keep going. Now, that is like the hardest thing to do in life. If you think about it, it's so easy to take the path of least resistance. It's so easy to say, you know what, I'm just going to stay in my shitty job, be unhappy, because I just don't want to have to face that treatment. But you can't do that. So what you need to say is you have to figure out what's good about yourself. Why are you different than other people? What kind of skills do you present? What abilities do you have that other people don't have? Why are you good for this job? Why are you the best for this job? Why will you excel at this job? Why do you want this job? Why do you want this career? You have to go in armed knowing that, hey, I am the best person for this job. I deserve this job. I have the right background. I have the right experience. And if you're going to choose someone, it should be me as opposed to the other candidates. So that you have that confidence, you have that inner strength that you could go out there time and again, send out resumes, go for interviews, get on these calls, and if they don't work, not to take it personally because you know in your heart that you're right for the job and you can get it and you can keep pushing forward to make it happen. So that's the kind of thing, just before you do anything with the search, you have to start thinking, all right, this is going to be a tough road. It's not going to be easy. It's a marathon, but it's not like a regular marathon. It's one of those Tough Mudder marathons, I think they call it, where, you're going through mud, you're climbing over walls, you're getting knocked down. It's just miserable, but you go through it. And the cool thing is, once you go through it and then you succeed and you get that great new job and you have more money and you're happier and your family is happier and your friends are happy, then it's all worth it. So then fast forward a year or so, when you're in that new job and you're doing great and you're happy and you're making more money, you're going to look back and all those indignities, all that stuff you had to endure, it doesn't matter. It's in the past. It's over. But what counts is that you did get that job. So for the first thing, and easy for me to say, but you have to work on having that right framework, having that mindset that you could go out there and it's going to be hard, but you can do it and you can make it happen. So thank you very much.